Hello loves and welcome to Vlogmas Day 6. Vlogging today's video, I noticed that I didn't have a lot of footage. I did a lot of the same repetitive things that I've been doing the last couple of days. Like I've been filming, I've been editing, and that's literally have been like the majority of my day. I didn't leave my house except to go out to dinner with Ricardo because I didn't have time to cook at that moment because I was still working. So I was like, you know what, instead of leaving you guys with like boring footage of me like sitting at my desk and setting up my camera, I figured I could do a Q&A, like a question and answer. And I asked you guys on Snapchat if you guys want to ask me any questions. Forgive my craziness, but it is 12 at night and I'm doing this so that I can give you guys a good video. So let's begin with the questions. Let's see. This one says, just curious, any way you can do a whole house tour? If not, that's okay. Another question, how did you start your sticker shop? I could possibly do a house tour, but all the rooms are not finished yet. I think once I have more stuff finished around the rooms, then I'll probably have a house tour. Okay, my hair looks so crazy. Okay, the next question is, how did you start your sticker shop? It took me a long time to start it. It took me over a year. I knew I wanted to have one. I went to like different planner conventions and I talked to different people, and like it really encouraged me to want to start one. My best friend also like encouraged it. She was like, you have to start one, you love stickers, like this is what you have to do, this is what you love to do, you should totally do it. And then slowly I started gathering information. I taught myself how to use the software. It was, not gonna lie, quite hard to understand it. It's like something I've never done before. I didn't understand like anything, and so I watched tons of tutorials. Like I feel like I never had time to do it, but I made time to do it because it's something that I wanted to do. Nobody ever has time to do things, but I was like, you know what, I want to start the sticker shop. So I would use my time wisely. I used to run a lot, and when I would run on the treadmill, I would put on YouTube videos all the time. Like I just feel like it's so much more entertaining than music. If I'm on a treadmill, if I'm running outside, I'll listen to my headphones. But when I used to run my treadmill at my other house, I had a TV right there, and then I connected it to my phone so that way I could watch YouTube videos, and I would watch tutorials on how to make stickers. And there are tons of tutorials. There's tutorials on YouTube. What is up with this hair? There are tutorials on YouTube for everything. Next question is from I am Myra. What would you recommend to someone who wants to start a YouTube channel or blog? Like tips, and how did you start off? What did you do to be noticed? Also, love you so much. Thanks for always keeping it real. Hopefully my question isn't stupid. It's not stupid at all. For someone who wants to start a YouTube channel or a blog, I would say just start. Like, just start. It's so easy to learn from other people because you can go on somebody's blog and kind of learn from them. Like look at their layout, look what kind of pictures they took, look what kind of information they're providing, and then kind of mimic that in your own way, like interpret that in your own way. Same thing with videos. What do people do? People have like an intro. People like talk about things that are interesting, like talk about things that interest you, and that way you'll stay interested in whatever you're doing. It'll keep you motivated. Like a lot of people want to perfect their first video. The thing is, to be honest, not that many people are going to watch that first video, so it gives you a lot of time for you to criticize yourself, see what you could do better next time, and then continue making them. And as you make more videos, more content will be up, more people will be able to research your video, your channel, and then start talking to other people, and you'll get views eventually. What I would say is, if you already have an Instagram or Twitter, say, hey followers, or hey friends, I'm starting a channel, or I'm doing this, like I would appreciate your support, come follow me, and then just start talking to other people who are doing the same thing, who have similar subscribers as you do, and eventually it'll start getting bigger. Like it's like you can't get subscribers from day to night. It's just impossible unless you have a video that goes viral. Then you'll get like 1 million views, but other than that, like everything starts slowly and you just have to be consistent. This is from Angie910. Hey Belle, tell us about your house process and how you purchased your gorgeous home. When we first bought our very first home, we saved up for 2 years. And it takes a while. You have to be patient because you have to have money for like the down payment, and you have to have money and make sure that your finances are good. build up your credit, fix your credit, pay off loans that you need to pay off or whatever it is, just like get your credit in check. So it was a 2-year goal for us to get our house. Once we had our 2-year goal, we started looking for houses. We bought our first home. Now when it comes to our second home, we were living in that house for 3 years before we bought this house, and we started saving from day one because we knew that we wanted to get a second home eventually when we start having kids. We're not pregnant, I'm not pregnant, but we want to start having kids soon. But for 3 years, I saved all of my money. Like, we did take vacations, and like I did buy things that I've been wanting to buy for a while after my channel really took off, but we saved up our money. Plus, he's an accountant and he has that mindset. Like, I always say he's an accountant because I feel like then you can really see his mindset. Like, everything is on budget, everything is like, he counts everything, keeps everything organized. He taught me how to build my credit. I wish that I could sit down with Ricardo and we could have a video on how to have amazing credit, because of him and his tips and the way that he started his credit, like, I was able to build up my credit in a year, which is insane because I followed everything that he told me. We started saving a lot of our money, and then we're like, okay, what are we gonna do with our money? Like, we're gonna invest it. What are we gonna do? We wanted a bigger house. It was just like the perfect opportunity for us to see this house. We loved it, made an offer, we got it. So it takes a while. I would say minimum, it takes about a year for you to get your finances together because it's such a huge investment and it's something that is so worth it. I would never recommend for someone to rent. Obviously, you have to rent if you don't have the credit for it, but the main goal is to own your own property because, first of all, you pay way less. Like, it's ridiculous how much your mortgage is from how much you pay to rent a place. Like, a mortgage is so much cheaper and so much more affordable than rent. For example, our first home that we bought, because it's a single family home, it has a yard, and it's also in a great area. It's right next to a university. So we were able to get a lot of money from the tenants, and they're literally paying double the amount of what our mortgage was, like literally double the amount. And what also really helps us a lot is that we actually have a property manager who helps us with the tenants. Like, they do background checks, they fix anything if it needs to be fixed, and then they address to us, so we're not constantly like having to be bothered if something does happen or with questions. And that's also another thing that I highly recommend, is to get a property manager if you do have tenants or if you have properties that you're renting out. So because we still own that house and the tenants living there pay double the amount of that mortgage, we're able to pay the mortgage on that house and then keep the additional money for ourselves. So like, it's such a huge investment, just like getting property, and it takes a while. It could take years before you buy your house, but like, start now, start today. That's also one thing that you have to start right away and like think ahead, like, okay, 1 year from now, and time will fly by. Like, believe me, time just flies by like crazy. Like, 1 year from now, I'm gonna get my credit in check. I'm gonna make sure that I save so that way I can put a down payment on a house and I can make my payments on time. So I can ramble on and on about that. So next question is, did your parents name you Belinda? Oh, this is cute. Oh, she included her picture. I love it when you guys show me your pictures, when you show me your beautiful faces. Her face is beautiful. Why did your parents name you Belinda? The reason why my mom named me Belinda is because there's a cartoon or a show or something like that when my sister was little, she's 2 years old, she's 2.5, almost 3 years older than me, that she would watch, and one of the characters' name was Belinda, and my mom liked it a lot because linda means beautiful in Spanish, so my mom thought it would be nice to be Belinda, and so that's how my name came about. Another question. Hi Belinda, what has helped you stay motivated throughout your whole YouTube career? What advice would you give people starting their channel? Oh, I just answered this. What keeps you motivated? Do something that you're passionate about, something that you love, something that you know, because when you know about a subject, like, it keeps you so motivated to keep talking about it. Don't try to copy everybody else of what they're doing. Like, do you. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something that you're excited about. Where did you work before YouTube? I've had several jobs. I've worked as a bus girl and as a waitress at like mom and pop restaurants, and I've also worked at a dry cleaners for 6.5 years of my life. I worked at a dry cleaners, and I also worked at a bank, which is really nice, and I think I would have probably stuck working at the bank if YouTube didn't take off, and then probably have gone to school for like marketing or advertising or graphic designing or something. So yeah, and then because I started traveling so much, the bank couldn't accommodate me leaving all the time, and so I had to make the decision of like quitting my job. How easy is it to start a YouTube channel with just a phone? I want to, but I'm scared. A lot of people, you'll be surprised, start with their phone. It's all about your personality. Like, it is a lot about the quality, but it depends what kind of videos you're making. I would say if you want to start a channel, just start on your phone. Don't invest in the equipment if you're not going to commit, because you will see that once you start, it is a lot of work. It's very time consuming, but if you love it, you're going to think it's worth it. If you don't love it, then you're not going to continue doing it, and then you're just invested all this money and all this expensive equipment that you're not going to use. So I would say start on your phone. Just make sure that you're doing it in natural lighting. So for example, I have a Diva light ring on, but that thing is expensive. I purchased it on Amazon for almost $500. Like, it's not worth it if you're not going to use it consistently, but you know, I'm investing in my job. But what I did for many years, like for 2 years straight, I just used natural lighting. I would just sit in front of a window and I would start filming, or I would only film during the day. What motivated you to do YouTube? I just wanted to connect with people, and it seemed like a lot of fun and something that I've always wanted to do. This one is from Daisy, and she says, can I do a what to give him for Christmas video? Honestly, I'm having a hard time deciding that myself. Do you read every letter you get in the mail from your fans? I do. Yes, I do. I read every single one from my P.O. box. If you guys want to know my P.O. box, I'll have it down below. Would you ever hire a personal assistant? Love your videos. Thank you. A personal assistant? I'm not sure. Kind of like doing everything myself, even though sometimes I'm like, I wish I had someone here to help me. But I do have a large team helping me. Like with my sticker shop, I do have people helping me. I also have a whole team helping me with my YouTube channel, and I also have Ricardo who helps me with the finances part of the whole thing, because this is one of my businesses, and then I have another business, and so Ricardo, he keeps track of all of that. And then I do have like my manager, my MCN, my agency. Like, I have a lot of people who do help me, so it's nice. So everything's not all by myself, because I think if it was all by myself, then it would be really hard. When are you and Ricardo planning on having children? I get that question so often. I'm leaving it up to God. What is your favorite foundation? Oh, hands down, the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. My camera literally overheated. This is from Jess Palomo. She says, you inspire me so much, and you are by far my favorite YouTube person to watch. Thank you, you're so sweet. My question is, I see you do so much and you work so hard to accomplish your goals. What keeps you motivated? You are human, so I assume there are days when you are overwhelmed or overworked, and what keeps you going? On the days that I do feel overwhelmed because I feel like I have a lot of work, I just concentrate and think about the biggest thing that's on my list. I'm like, if I could at least get this done, I'm gonna get it done. If the rest doesn't get done, I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll do it, or I'll set goals like for the next day, which actually does happen a lot if you have a lot of work. What keeps me going is the fact that I love being busy. Like, I have to constantly do something, because otherwise I feel like I have too much time to think, and too much time to compare myself to others, and too much time to think about the things that I don't have. And I know that happens to everybody. This is a funny one. This is from MG Vargas 17. She says, no quiero ser metiche, but are your mom and your dad still together? I notice your dad is usually alone, and when you vlog your mom, your dad is not there. Also, vlogging is misspelled in your intro. Probably is. That's so cute. No, you're not being metiche. I asked you guys to ask me anything you wanted to ask me. So my mom and dad are separated. They've been separated for a really, really long time, ever since I was 15. I'm 28 now. So ever since I was 14, they've been separated. Next question is from Color Me Bear, and she says, what was the most challenging part when you first moved in with Ricardo? What was the most... You know what? We went through marriage counseling through our church, and so we were able to talk about a lot of the things that don't come up until the situation actually happens. And it was really cool. I honestly recommend, like, whether you're religious or not, or no matter what religion you are, take some kind of partner counseling. And they sat down, they made a list of questions that were kind of hard to talk about, but they let us express our opinions before a situation happened. So when we were in that situation, we already knew each other's mindsets, like our concerns or anything that we had questions about. And it was like the most amazing thing ever, because by the time that we moved in, a lot of the questions that we had about each other were already answered, even though we dated for 10 years prior to us living together. So we knew each other pretty much our whole lives, and there was a lot of things that I still learned about Ricardo. But pretty much my main concern when I first moved in with Ricardo was the fact that he is 1 out of 3 boys and his dad, and his mom is such a neat freak, but she was always cleaning, always picking up after everybody, and she would never tell them to pick up because she wanted it done her way. She wanted to make sure that everything was done. So she cooked, she cleaned, she vacuumed, she did like everything, and she would do it all the time. And my concern was like, well, I don't want it to be traditional like that. I was working at the bank at this time, and I had long shifts just as much as he did. I don't want to have to come home and be expected to be the only one to clean or cook, and he got to sit on the couch and watch TV. I just didn't agree with that. Like, you know, everybody has their own traditions, everybody has their own ways, but to me, I just didn't think it was fair. I wanted him to help me in the relationship. I wanted him to like pick up his clothes. I wanted him to like help me with laundry or wash the dishes and stuff like that. So when we sat down and talked, they did ask me this question. They're like, what is one of your main concerns about moving in? And I was like, well, I didn't want to sound mean, but I was like, Ricardo, I don't want you to expect me to be like your mom where she does everything for everybody. Like, I want you to help me with the dishes if we're both eating. If I cooked for an hour, I would at least want you to help me with the dishes or clean the kitchen. And you know what? It worked, because as soon as we moved in together, he like helped me all the time. And so now it's like a habit. And so like now he still helps me. He, you know, like if I cooked, then he'll pick up the table, and then I'll clean the counters, and then he'll load the dishes. Like, we try to work with each other, and it has helped so much. But that is all the questions. It is almost 1 in the morning, and I'm gonna go to bed because I have to wake up early. I'm gonna go to Ashley's house in the morning because she's getting furniture delivered, and she doesn't want to be by herself when the delivery people come there, and I don't blame her because I had a horrible experience recently with furniture being delivered, and I feel like because we look young, we get taken advantage of, or like, I don't know, it's just weird, you know, like if you have people coming to your house, never be by yourself. So I'm gonna go with her, and then we're gonna go out for breakfast, and then I'm gonna have to come back immediately and film and work some more because I'm trying to get as much work done before we leave to Disney World. We leave next Wednesday. It's like coming so fast, and I want to finish everything before then. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Also subscribe to my vlogmas channel, or my vlogmas channel, to my vlogging channel if you guys are enjoying these vlogs, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Muchos besos. Mwah.